Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum. And most importantly, if you'd like to join this discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are currently joined by Quantum Eraser, The Plain Truth, Ruhif, Ranty Flat Earth, Jessica, Physics Warrior, Paul, Chris, Arwin, and 10th Man. Very good to have you all.
Hello.
Hello.
Greetings.
I thought it was Science Warrior.
Hello, everybody.
Still got you presented, John. I'm happy to dispense with housekeeping if you want to carry on with the point that was being made in the in-between stages.
John?
John's still here.
If he's
Did
gone
we
on
go
mute,
through
maybe he's gone on-
housekeeping, Nathan?
I think
No,
we
he
might
just said he was
use
going to
housekeeping.
dispense with it.
Get my screen shared properly. Bear with me 1 second. Any signs of Earth-based curvature?
Nope.
Nope.
No, Nathan. But from what I'm hearing, the Marines actually on the water, they have buoy systems, and they should have some kind of GPS sensors on it.
They have accelerometers on them and GPS, yeah.
I mean, we have never discussed as far as going forward, discussing the shape of the water itself. So I found that interesting with these buoys, which is a root word for buoyant. So if anybody has any information on these GPS trackers and how it's mapped out, I'm pretty interested. So now,
Yeah,
Nathan, I
one
don't have
second,
proof for
one
curvature,
second.
but
1 second. Sorry, I was muted. I thought we were dispensing with.
Yeah, but you were on
Housekeeping.
mute. You didn't reply.
I did, but I was on mute, man. I'm talking, and you just guys are keep talking and talking. But go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. We'll finish housekeeping, and then I'll root up Roofy after it's over.
Okay.
Dispense with housekeeping and let's go straight to John, because I've got to go to bed.
No, that's fair enough. That's why I was actually being considerate to Ruhif. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you, Nathan.
he is up later than all of us. He's
Well,
definitely-
yeah. It's Be Kind to Dumb Animal Week, so yeah, I can see your point. So, Roofy, do you know what the Socratic method is?
Yes, asking questions to elucidate the other person's position and get them to realize their own contradictions if they exist.
That's not all. And in fact, that's incorrect. Are you
Sure.
seeing this? From Webster's New World College Dictionary. A method of teaching or discussion like that used by Socrates, in which by means of a series of questions and answers, the logical soundness of a definition is tested. The meaning
The
of a
definition?
concept examined. You see this, Roofy? That's why
Yeah.
I'm looking for definitions. Do you understand now, clown show?
That sentence that you've got there, right? Blah, 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 answers the logical soundness of a definition is tested, or
Yes.
the meaning of a concept examined, or etc.
Oh, no, not or. Where's the or?
That's the way I read the sentence. By the comma.
Where's the or? I don't see or in here.
The comma. The comma is the or.
Commas. Now punctuation marks mean shit to you.
Oh, shit.
What did periods mean? Vertical drop?
Man. Come on, get into it.
What do periods mean? Vertical drop? Can you pull the definition up? Pull the definition of a comma.
It's a cycle of the month with females.
Hurry up.
No. Come on, Roofy.
No, hurry up, or I gotta go to bed. Come on. Get to your point.
Yeah, slap right in your face. I already did it in the pre-show. I mean,
Okay.
You think you live on a level curve. You don't understand what vertical drop is. What else don't you get? You believe in your fairy tale evolution, right?
I did a video.
What
actually.
else?
The presentation that I was going to give, I made a video about. It's called "Why Common Descent is a Fact."
Oh, I think I commented on that. Because I don't watch your videos. Somebody said you made a video on common descent. It was like
I'm sure you don't watch mine.
4 or 5 weeks ago. I think I commented on that.
I'll check it out.
Your common descent. I went over common descent on Ballbusters last week. Were you there?
No.
Oh, you missed it. I did it like 4 times.
I can't see a comment there.
Say again?
You're not blocked. I can't see a comment, and you're not blocked.
You didn't. No, you didn't block me. You can't see my comment on there. I'll have to check it later. I'm not going to track that down. I'm pretty sure I commented. In fact, I'm 100% positive.
Anyway, why common descent is a fact and why common designer is not. And it's only like
Well, you're a moron. Yeah. You're a philosophical naturalist. Tell us something, Roofy. Do you believe that ink, paper, and glue molecules author technical instruction manuals and blueprints? Do you understand that, right?
I don't get the analogy, but no, I don't think that.
Okay, the ink, paper, and glue molecules are ribose nucleobases and activated phosphates, and the manual is DNA.
Okay.
Yeah, you believe that.
What do I believe about DNA?
You believe it comes. That's what I just said. That's what you believe. It has information in it. Where'd the information come from?
When I speak to creationists, I actually say, for arguendo, let's say God created the first cell with everything that we need.
Oh, you're not a creationist? I didn't.
Am I
you're not a creationist?
like an idiot, John?
Can you explain that in laws of thermodynamics and quantum mechanics?
Sorry, John.
Huh?
Hold on a second.
Second?
Sorry. What do you mean when you say you prefaced it with "for the sake of argument"? So what do you mean by that bit? How does that preface work?
For the sake of argument, we can agree that God created the first living cell, and then from that point, I can demonstrate that common descent is a fact, in that it would be perverse to deny it.
Wow. Really?
You called me a creationist, and then you say, well, we could say that God created the first. What are you, some type of moron?
You think God and evolution are completely...
kind of Scientologist, maybe.
You think God and common descent are...
Hold on. Sorry. Maybe I'm missing something, Ruhif. By conceding that, you're essentially saying I will agree to creationism at the beginning of the argument.
No. Speaking of true dichotomies and false dichotomies, I actually see creationism and common descent as a true dichotomy. Some people disagree with that. That's fine. I see it as a true dichotomy. Either we are related to other species or we are not related to other species. I see that as a true dichotomy. If we're not related, I call that creationism.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Hold on. Carry on, Ruhif.
Yeah, if we are not related to other species, I call that creationism. If we are related, that's common descent.
What the hell? Are you a moron? That's friggin' fallacious. It doesn't fall. It's a non sequitur. Say that one more time.
I see creationism and common descent as a true dichotomy. Some people disagree, and I accept that, but I see it as a true dichotomy. Either we are related to other species or we are not.
Are related to other species. Species is a man-made convention. That's a begging the question fallacy right off the show the experiment where we're related. Hold on a second. I want the experiment. Let's go through this.
I can play my video.
Fuck your video. Who cares about your video? You're going to do it right here in front of all of us. We want to see the experiment where species are related. Wait one.
I'll play my video.
No, you're not playing your video. You're going through this step by step. Do you know what the scientific method is?
Why?
Here
Actually,
we go.
that's a good question. It's a good question.
Here we go.
Why do you guys?
Here we go. Scientific method. We're ready for the species related. Natural phenomena observed, please.
No, listen. Why do you guys jump straight to
Natural
science?
phenomena observed, please. We're talking science right now. You said you did.
No,
you had
you
evidence.
are talking science. You are talking science.
No.
I want to know what you guys, why you guys put value on science.
Hold on. We're talking about a cause and effect relationship, right?
No,
So
I'm talking about
the effect.
An inference to the best explanation.
So the effect isn't evolution.
No. You guys have brought the phrase scientific method into it, right? I haven't. I would like to know what you guys value about science. Why do you say, demonstrate this scientifically? What value do you put on science?
It's the empiricism that it offers.
Okay, that's a good answer.
I'll tell you what. Hold on. Since he's not going to give us any science, let me just go ahead and friggin' drag him around by his short hairs right here. You seeing this, Nathan?
Oh, John, really? You're a child.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah. You seeing this, Nathan?
Yeah, it's all presented.
All right, let's go with Ruhif's Tree of Life. Ancestry, common descent, the phylogenetic tree. A. If ancestry is not assumed from similarities, then there is no correlation between similarities and ancestry. Ergo, to make the argument, you need to make that assumption, i.e., like I said, it's a begging the question fallacy from the get-go. B. All they have is a textbook affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. If P, then Q, Q, therefore P. Example, if evolution is true, P, then insert any Darwinian grab bag post hoc observation, fossils, homology, similarity, genetic variation, Q. We observe Q, post hoc observation, therefore evolution is true, therefore P. Or to our topic specific, I'm not done yet. To our topic specific, if common ancestry is true, P, we will observe similarities, Q. We observe similarities, Q. Therefore, common ancestry is true. Therefore, P. The logical fallacy.
Science. No, science doesn't do that.
The logical fallacy is that P doesn't necessarily follow from Q. If I had eaten a whole pizza, P, I would feel very full, Q. I feel very full, Q. Therefore, I've just eaten a whole pizza. Therefore, P. Couldn't I have eaten a 20-ounce ribeye with fries or the old 96er? So let's put this misery, I'm almost done. Let's put this quackery out of its misery quick. Dr. Craig Venter, atheist evolutionist, the grand poobah of geneticists, the geneticist of geneticists. Listen closely. There is no tree of life. It's an artifact from early scientific studies than art holding up. So there is not a tree of life. The audience gasped. Dawkins and Krauss turned different shades of green. You hear that sound, Ruhif? That's the common descent fairy tale carousel tree circling the drain at light speed, son. As if he actually needed to say it. I'm done.
Okay. Science does not affirm the consequent. This is why I keep saying to you guys,
you
science doesn't prove
Science
things.
doesn't.
I'm speaking.
You're not dealing in science. You're
stop
dealing in pseudoscience.
Hang on, guys, just a minute. QE just literally had 5 minutes, and then Ruhif gets 10 words out of his mouth, and you guys jump all over him. That's very rude.
You bet, because that was a falsehood right there that he said.
Yeah. He said, let's move away from science. Why do you guys want to use science? Why do you want it? We say it offers empiricism. And then Johnny immediately says, okay, let's move away from science then. And then uses his example, formulates it. And Ruhif goes, well, that's not science. No, it's your example, formulated into the logical fallacy that it is.
Well, can't that be pulled apart after he's finished what he needs to say?
Well, it's starting. That's what they usually do, Ranty. They put the damaging bit in the headline. So then they can waffle with the assertion that they've made in the first sentence, the most damaging bit, the bit that's complete bollocks, as their first sentence.
But can't that be addressed after he's at least been allowed to speak? That's the only point that I would say.
Well, yeah, but what the problem is, like Nathan said, they start off with a falsehood, right? So we're operating from a false premise to listen to 5 minutes of horseshit.
Yeah.
So he said science doesn't affirm the consequent. No one said it does. We're saying you affirm the consequence.
You've literally just shown an if P then Q, Q then P.
That's
right?
your example. So it's you and your proof and how it's a logical fallacy. So yeah, that's what you're doing.
Listen.
Do you even know your own name?
This is why I say science does not prove things. It either provides support for or disprove.
This is what I had.
Wait a second.
This is what I had with him.
He just said science doesn't prove things.
He said that to me as well. I took him through that little merry dance, and eventually he conceded that it confirms things. Yeah, and it can disprove things. Yeah, we heard. You don't have to rumpus me while I'm repeating what you said. Yeah, confirms, right? Validates, right? Proves, right? Yeah, there he goes again, rumpusing every time there's a damaging truth that he's conceded. He laughs and talks over it. Asshole, they've only got one tactic. No winning arguments, just rumpusing.
Yep, look at this. Proof synonyms. Confirmation, evidence, validation, right?
There he goes again.
Here's, yep. Okay, Rufy. Scientists using the scientific method have proven water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level. That's 1 atmosphere of pressure, right? Combustion is the result of oxidation reactions. Information is only caused by intelligent agency. The lack of insulin with type 1 diabetes patients results in ketoacidosis. Lack of vitamin C intake in humans results in scurvy. Look at all these. I can go on for freaking days. These are absolutely true, proven, inviolable, never to be falsified.
Okay,
so what are you talking
Google the
about?
phrase scientific proof. Google the phrase scientific proof and tell me.
I don't have to Google. I just showed you. Why do I have to Google it?
Because I've asked you to, and it shows that you're wrong.
But you Google it. You're a wiki
what he's
Google
saying
scientist.
is, hold on. This is his argument. In the face of years of validated scientific experimentation that has proven causes, my Google search with this specific term will trump it. That's what he's saying.
Yes, you guys need lessons in the philosophy of science.
He's got a list of proven things on screen.
No, he's using the word proven.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so, I got it. Nathan, stop. We got Kristen McClellan, The Nature of Science and the Scientific Method. Experiment. Once the hypothesis has been established, it is time to test it. The process of experimentation is what sets science apart from other disciplines, and it leads to discoveries every day. An experiment is designed to prove or disprove the hypothesis.
Do you have her email address?
So it's not me just saying it.
No. Do you have her email address? Go and ask her if it actually proves.
Sorry. Was there something wrong with the citation? Who cares? She could be dead. It doesn't matter.
No, if she might have made
I don't have her phone number. I don't have it.
Address size isn't relevant either. Yeah, there's the citation. Prove or disprove a hypothesis. Precisely what I said to you, Ruhif. You just used the word confirm.
I mean, provide support for, yeah.
Yeah, but you used the word confirm.
And we already went over that, right?
Yeah, is this going to be a wiggle situation where he doesn't like his own words that he's used?
I misspoke when I said the word
confirm. It was a misspeak.
Oh, he misspoke.
Oh, right. So this person's citation's wrong, and all of those lists of proven scientific experiments, they're just supporting, aren't they? Because Ruhif misspoke. Because that ultimately changes the definitions here. Ruhif's misspeak. Yeah, it doesn't matter, Sunshine. You said it. Confirms, right, Ruhif? Yeah, another word. Proven.
I often say scientifically.
You know that evidence is proof, right? You understand that evidence is proof, correct?
No, that's just wrong.
Oh, is it? From Merriam-Webster. Evidence,
dictionary.
an outward sign
indication
of something that furnishes proof.
Good night.
Yeah, you clown. Good night.
Don't stop reading it, though.
So, evidence, an outward sign, indication. B, something that furnishes proof. Testimony, specifically something legally submitted to a tribunal to ascertain the truth of a matter. We're not concerned about that. We're concerned with proof. It has it right in the definition. Let's look at the definition of proof. It starts out with evidence. I mean, come on. Proof, to test by experiment. Proof. Collins Dictionary. Proof, synonyms, confirmation, evidence, validation. A scientific theory is confirmed. It's validated. It's proven. I mean, incoherent second grader can reconcile this stuff, right?
Joined by Right the
Keep
Hand.
going.
How you doing, Right the Hand?
Hey, what up? Like, just to jump on that, like, even if you take away the scientific aspect, he went to Google for a definition to support his claim. Then when John went to the dictionary for a definition to support his claim, he mocked him for it and laughed.
Yeah, he charged me with going to definitions. You got it. Yes, he did.
I mean, it's a double standard, like, even if you just remove the fact that he disregards what science is.
No, it's not a double standard. He's an Elmer Fudd sophist, right? He's trying to pull an Elmer Fudd. He gets busted. They all do. They all listen. I hate the stereotype. I don't like it because I think it's really unfair. But in my experience, in over 3 years of doing this, these ballers, they all act the same way. It's kind of creepy. They don't know what science is, and they just they parrot each other. They parrot wiki, and then number 4, they just make shit up. Right?
Yeah, that was weird.
We had all of those in the past 20 minutes, haven't we?
Oh yeah, it was a complete clusterfuck.
Brenda yesterday saying that the vacuum of space is not part of the heliocentric model. Just removing that from the model.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
really
she said
preposterous. And
I'm sorry, Roofy is one of these guys. I'd seen Roofy about 5 years ago. He wasn't in this flat Earth. Flat Earth to me wasn't around. I seen him talking about pig DNA on friggin' Steve McClown of the Clan McClown's channel. I called him out then.
Oh, okay. Well, now, okay. Yeah, I was asking, like, what is it that she said? I didn't hear the last thing you said. I just wanted you to repeat it, that's all.
Roofy's got an educate. Roofy, at least allegedly, has some type of educate. Who's talking? Roofy allegedly has some type of education too. Oh my God! What do you want?
That's Jessica. Jessica? Maybe
Jessica, what do you want to add? You're stepping all over me. What?
She's muted now, so continue.
Hang on. She probably can't hear John talking right now.
She's muted now. So
I think it's just a bit of mute discipline problem, that's all.
So, like I said, I met him over 5 years ago. He has some, like I said, allegedly has some type of education. I can't remember what he said. You know, they were pumping him up and he was talking about pig DNA. And I was I think it was in the chat or the comments calling his dumb ass out. They're all pretender clowns. So I met him a long time ago to put things in perspective.
So you met him when you were both Globers?
Yeah. Yep. He's seen the comment because he was commenting to other people under that hangout. So he definitely seen mine. Yeah. Just a pretender clown, man. Like they all are. What are you going to do? I mean, what?
Again,
it's Paul. I said I've always used the illustration of, like, you know, a Ford. Anybody that lives in America knows what a Ford is. The Ford uses the same chassis as the Ford or the Ranger or the Ford Explorer, and the Ranger use the same chassis and the same braking system, potentially even the same motor. So if you use his logic, then I guess they do have a common descent, but they do have a common manufacturer as well, using the same material. So that has been my argument.
Yeah, but come on, let's go back to the beginning. I don't know if this was on the pre-show, the second after show, or the first after show. I'm sorry, but he didn't even know what the difference between level and curve. I mean, this is the point. I don't even know I went further than that. I just got on a rant there. But everything he said, and to Ranty's point, Ranty, is it your suggestion that we allow people to go ahead with a false first premise and just let them roll? Is Ranty around?
He might be away from his mic.
I'm not trying to dog Ranty out. I want to hear what he has to say.
Well, for when he comes back to his mic, or hopefully listens to this at a later date, it'd be the equivalent of them making an assertion to Ranty that the leading edge of the sphere is the horizon, starting with that premise when they make their example, and it pisses in the face of everything that Ranty does basically. And would he let them get away with that? Maybe he'll tell us when he comes back to his mic. We'll see. While I'm on the subject of Ranty, so yesterday Ranty did a Ranty-a-thon. John, you were there as well. Quantum Eraser, Jeranism, Adam Meakin. Who else was there? Sleeping Warrior. There may have been a couple of others I've forgotten. But nevertheless, there was lots of support from people in the audience who supported Ranty's GoFundMe campaign for for a Mavic Pro drone. He's well over halfway there, so I just wanted to say a big shout out to everybody who participated on the panel, and also, of course, a massive shout out to everybody who actually contributed to the GoFundMe yesterday. It really is appreciated. I know Ranty will do magical things with that drone, so I can't wait for him to get it. I know he'll get to his goal. I will smash the link out if I can find it in a pinch. Let's just move this off page and find it. Yeah, so I'll stick the link to Ranty's GoFundMe if you do want to contribute. If not, go to the link and just share the link on Facebook or Twitter. That helps massively also. So I'll dig out the link, hopefully drum up a little bit more support right here, right now. We shall see. But yeah, just a big shout out to everybody who participated in that. Are you back, Ranty? Hey ho. Missed his plug.
So when I got woken up, somebody was talking about gas pressure in containers. Who was that?
That was me and Ruhif.
Was that? I thought that was somebody else's voice talking about. He said it was a flat earther.
I think it could have been Chris.
Yeah, that was me. I had a question that I was curious about. You kind of answered it, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it again anyway. So the explanation for gas pressure that some of the ballers are using is that the atmosphere has a weight, and because of that, that weight is pressing against the things that are in the atmosphere, and that's what's causing the pressure.
Well, like I said, their first mistake is they're treating the atmosphere as a single entity when it's not. It's an anisotropic, inhomogeneous mixture of gases. Number two, gas behavior. Gases move freely and randomly at high speeds. They're going at standard temperature and pressure. They're going every which way. So how in the world can gases be pressing down when they're going every which direction?
It's impossible.
Exactly. They don't know what gas behavior is. I don't know. They put a spell on people, and I've heard this stupid argument before. And that retard Ali B makes this argument too. He's a flat earther. I don't know why he is, but he makes the same argument. This is just basic stuff. I mean, a fifth grade general science graduate would look at these people and roll their eyes. But we
Come on.
But we entertain it.
Ali B is just a free speculator. Okay, he goes wherever his mind. He doesn't really care about scientific correctness or all that, unless it's really useful. But you can't really credit. He openly says it. Like, he's just a free thinker. So
the free
don't
thinker.
diss Ali B. He's a good guy.
He also believes in the moon
He might
landing.
be a good guy, but he's a retard.
Yeah, he believes all kinds of weird things, but it's
that's the problem.
I take him with a grain of salt.
No, but he says it's basically free speculation. He's not trying to portray some kind of scientific standard or something, okay? So
he's not out there though. I mean, let's be honest. On the crazy scale, he's nowhere near like the likes of Pete Shea. I mean, even in saying that yesterday, Pete Shea was on fire. Every word he said made some sense and had a good point attached to it. So, Pete Shea came on yesterday, and I was in the chat when the replay going, Pete makes some really good points here. And he did. He was coherent. Everything he said was relevant and on topic. He couldn't really have asked for much more from Pete. But Ali B's not like that. I'm not saying he's not coherent. I'm saying he's not typically nonsense spurting like Pete Shea. Typically Ali B would just have a regular conversation with you, but he does hold some I'm not going to say crazy ideas, but stuff that's a bit out there or been debunked or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Piche can he can make sense. He does make sense sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah, I'm sorry I brought up Alec B. This got us on, talking about people. I didn't want to go there. I want to talk about science and ideas, right? So, does everyone understand?
But to be fair, John, then please only involve people that actually say that they're dealing with that or that they're scientifically correct. You can address me on it. I try to be very precise. I do.
I'm not talking about you,
I have a
Arwen.
question.
Does everyone see this? Is my screen still sharing?
No, but it can't be in a moment. Just give me a second. I have to do a faff to get it to share to the not to the audience, to the Hangout these days. For some reason, Skype won't let me share, but there we go. I can figure that out if you give me a couple of seconds.
Yeah, let me know when.
I normally do this bit with the photos up, so it doesn't look a right mess. Give me a sec. I forgot to press the button.
Hey, John, I came across with George Netanyuk or whatever this.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was on Panda server.
Well, I'm just going to turn you up a little bit, Physics Warrior.
On Panda server. Next time you see him, next time you talk to him, can you ask him? We want a presentation on natural experiments and birds humping. That's what we're going to need. So go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Well, no worries. Well, he was asking about you, and it sounded like he wanted to talk to you. But first and foremost, on the Pandas channel, I did tell him that he's a crusty old dick, and if George wants to speak with you, I told him that you're going to just demolish this guy. So
what? He already knows that. I've already had a painful history with George. First part, as a human being, he's a scumbag, right? That's number one. Number two, he doesn't know what science is. He can't formulate. He doesn't know the scientific method. He doesn't know what a hypothesis is. Why should I even talk to him? He was on this show and got his face rubbed in it. This guy said on this show, of the thousands of moronic statements, said that closed thermoses were open systems. I mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to listen to him? I mean, a incoherent third grader wouldn't listen to him. Retards wouldn't listen to him. So, back to this. Can everyone see this?
Yeah,
this is from Purdue Chemistry Department. This is what solids look like. They have bonds. They're not stationary. They're still moving a little bit. Here's liquids. Some movement, and then we have gases. Do you see this? See, gases don't have any intermolecular bonds. They move freely and randomly at high speeds. Every which way. They're trying to increase entropy. That's what they're trying to do. And they will fill the given volume until equilibrium is reached. So with these crayon munchers, spinning ball space monkeys, their volume of space is 3.57 times 10 to the 80th cubic meters. Can you even grasp that volume? It's unimaginable.
My hands are not big enough.
It's unimaginable. All the gas from Earth will tend to fill that available volume. This is basic second law of thermodynamics stuff, laws of entropy, right? This is so stupid. To even talk about this is stupid. That somebody would come up against it, right? You see this? You see this? Are these laying on top of each other? Prosecution rests.
No, they're not.
They made it so ridiculous we can't do anything. Like it's so out there. Like we can show gas expanding, but then their lie is so big they'll just default to, oh, but look up there. Look how far away. That's what it is because you can't see it.
No, they're all appealing to hillbilly blue balls. This freaking this guy, I'm serious, couldn't tie his shoes. He got a can of butane sitting right beside him, right? To put the butane into his pipe, right? Well, let's go back to the can of butane sitting beside him. Why does he need a container for that? I mean, they can't even think. And what they do, they're so I don't understand it. He takes a pipe that's what, 20 or 30 feet high. I'll tell you what, blue balls, cut that pipe at 3 inches, right? And then put the butane in at the bottom and see what happens. I mean, are you retarded? Then they say they get a long pipe, it's like 20 or 30 feet. They take a container filled with gas, our argument. They put the gas in the pipe. What's that reasonable facsimile of? Are we living in a pipe? Number two,
Hey, John,
they make it
pipe
20,
dream.
They make it 20 feet
We're
high.
living in
Hold
a
on, I'm
pipe
not
dream,
done yet. They
according
make
to
it
the
20
Bible.
feet high, right? Well, of course, you're going to get gas pressure at the bottom of the pipe the moment that you spray the damn butane in it. I'll tell you what, even with that pipe 30 feet high, come back 4 hours. 4 hours from now and see what happens.
Hey, John, I think we can describe this concisely by saying that proving gas pressure without a container is a pipe dream.
I guess you could call.
That's
a good
hey, I was
right?
thinking, why don't we talk? John, hang on a second. Let me ask you to kind of think this through a little bit. Just we're shooting in the dark, I guess. Or not shooting in the dark, but we're shooting at them, but not explaining why. So in a sense, the pipe with a smaller aperture at the top would reduce and slow down the process of entropy. Like in a fish tank, it's a larger opening, which would obviously increase the process or speed up the process of entropy even faster. With no container at all, it would just be rapid. Kind of would that be a way to look at it?
Yeah. They're looking at it. They're looking at it like it's just a moment snapshot in time because they're stupid, right? And they put the butane in real quick and then take the measurement. Look, the pressure's lower down here. What are you, a moron? It's gonna take. See, entropy takes time depending on the surface area, right? Everyone knows. I don't even know why I have to comment on this, but I've been hearing it. I'm seeing it on Discord. I'm getting Hillbilly Blue Balls videos. Their proof is they post the Hillbilly Blue Balls video. No, they don't talk. They just post the video. Right? Like it's some type of evidence. I mean, this guy couldn't tie his shoes. Go back and look at some of his presentations. I'm going to ad hom this stupid crayon muncher. He can't even spell. He misspells all his words. Even with spell check, he just leaves them there. I mean, we're dealing with, I don't know, maybe I should have my son come on here. He's 12 years old and deal with these people.
Maybe it's just a specific target audience that we mistake for clumsiness. But it's actually supposed to be directed at really stupid people.
No, they're just being dishonest. I don't think
maybe the
dumb.
AI has categorized ballers as arrogant, retarded people without actually saying
this
so.
stuff is so easy to
and
understand.
It's promoting certain behaviors, certain cymatics and behavioral patterns to go with it to optimize the target audience. So,
who's their target audience again, Arwen?
Retarded, arrogant people.
I don't know, dude. It is when you look at this stuff, just on its surface. This is easy stuff, man. Right? Common sense will get you through most of this. By the way, Ball Busters this week, we're going to be going over typical arguments of globetards and how to rip it to shreds. So, everyone, please show up Saturday.
Can you all see my screen right now?
Yeah, hold on. Let me stop screen sharing.
I can make that possible.
I'll stop.
Yeah, you can see it.
Oh God! You guys still there?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I want to switch gears. This is going to be really brief. It's just a question about perspective that I'm curious about. Okay, so this is just a graphic demonstration of perspective. So here's the ground and here's the sky. My question is the sky doing the same thing that the ground is doing, like converging towards this vanishing point and forming, because I imagine that these two planes are going to meet at some point and converge to form some kind of horizon. Is that what the sky is doing? Is the sky sort of also converging with the ground to form a horizon? Because on the globe model, the sky is like all around us in like a circle, sort of like it's circular around the Earth. But on our model, how is the sky
I see
shaped? If that makes sense.
Bridge
into the horizon.
Can I
It
have a quick
falls
bash?
beyond the diffraction limit into the
Can you put your picture back
horizon.
up? Can you put your picture back up, please?
Stanley's Bridge.
I put my picture back up. Okay.
Yes, please.
But yeah,
Second picture.
the other one was good.
Yeah, second picture. So
Yeah,
where
because
one?
we could put because it shows Stanley's Bridge in there as well.
this one.
If
So
you look
where you've got
to
the
the ver-
lines converging at the end of the road, they're not. They get the sky is converging much, much, much further away. So you'd have bigger, longer boxes for the sky because you can see much further. You've got a much wider viewing angle up. In fact, you've got pretty much, I don't want to say an infinite angle,
It
but
becomes less and less diagonal and more horizontal.
right.
Like
But
compressing.
like I was trying to explain to Ruhif, along the ground, what's limiting your angle is the deck itself. So that's that's your cutoff point for where you can expand that angle out to. It stops at the deck, but it doesn't stop at the sky. So what you're seeing in the top lines is a kind of a misrepresentation because they're converging at the end of the road. So you're comparing where the sky converges to where the deck converges, and they're totally different. The sky is much, much, much further away. So when there's the shots that Ranti's got of the sunset, it really gives you a good idea of where the true vanishing point is. And even then it's above the hard line of the horizon. But that would be the point that your much wider angle in the higher frame of the picture actually converges. So it's different for the top and bottom, very different. The only advice I can give you to understand this thoroughly, because I'd hope I'm reasonably concise at explaining this, is to go and watch one of Life is Short's presentations, because he's gone into the most amount of detail. Now, I found out, although I haven't seen this yet, Jeranism had Life is Short, otherwise known as Travis, on his show recently after asking him to do a concise hour-long presentation. In other words, boil down what he'd done for Ranty and myself on Ranty's channel. I also mirrored it on mine, which took about 5 hours. I'm not kidding. You know, for him to go through it all with us in great detail, with us asking questions along the way. Well, that's now been boiled down to an hour on Jaren's channel. So just go and watch it. You know, it's a concise, and I know Travis is good at it. I know he can reduce it down to its bare bones in about an hour. You know, you can't get this stuff that concise. It's not simple, unfortunately. But yeah, that's as concise as I can make it using your picture as an example. The converging point that you've got in the middle, and I'll show for the audience what I'm talking about. Well, this line here is fine for the road, not fine for the sky, which would be coming out all the way past and beyond the tree line.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Cool.
Granty back yet? No, this is all in his in his ballpark, and he's not piped up much. That's a shame.
Yeah, I was hoping he would have something to say about it.
The person that's sort of took all the information and analysed it and given concise. I say concise. They are concise. Each section that he does is concise, but there's still a lot of sections. So that's Travis. That's what he's done. So Life is Short. Life is, all one word, space, short, is his YouTube channel. But I'm in no doubt that his hour-long presentation on Jeranism's channel will be superb. And after only an hour of viewing, you'll have a really good idea of how all these things work. You know, it's just describing perspective and foreshortening and angle of attack, as I used to call it, perspective generally, and how it works.
Yeah, I'm going to check out that video right after this.
I'll dig it out now. I'll go to Jaren's channel and I'll find it and I'll post it in the chat feed for the people watching.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be very useful.
So I've not watched it myself yet, so yeah, big shout out to Life is Short. So while these ideas were simmering, and even being photographed by Ranty, which is why I wanted him to be a part of this conversation. You know, we were looking at it in some regards, scratching our head. And then Red Pill Philosophy as well, big shout out to Red Pill Philosophy. He took some fantastic observations and then, just without us knowing, turned up with all this analysis on it. Just reams and reams and reams of analysis that he'd done. You know, it just, you know, taken screen caps of the images and just gone to town. It was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's demonstrating my lack of multitasking skills, isn't it? While I look for a video, everything goes silent.
Well, I also like to shout out to Jose. It's been a long time.
To Jose.
Yeah.
Jose who?
Jose Gonzalez.
Jose, the clown show over there.
Well, I mean, there is the diversity as well. I mean, and
there's diversity among retards. Have you watched that?
It's mostly trolls.
Oh,
I mean these people.
I see the trolls.
I turned it on the past couple days. I don't know. There's new people out there. It's like 2015, all over again. Do you remember the ED channel? I call it erectile dysfunction. It was just an inside joke between all of us. They had, every time you go there, they had like 3 people in the audience. It was George, Cordis, Gem Panda every now and again, that Rizla moron, and a couple other people. And that's all they would do. It was like back and forth between retards. That's what Jose's is. It's erectile dysfunction 2.0.
Well, there's a couple of earthers in there. The mind of God is very interesting. So, you know, and who else did I find? Other people. Dean is one of them as well.
It gives the Rumpus venue and platform. Did you know Rumpus said that air is not the atmosphere? Did you know that?
Hear that? No, I didn't hear that.
Let's go ahead and pull that back.
Gas pressure is not atmospheric pressure.
Hey, Nathan, is my screen still sharing?
I can share your screen, yeah.
Go pull that up. We need to take a look at that again because we people need to know this, right? Who they're dealing with. All right.
Sure.
So let's take a look at this. We got the Rumpus. This guy, he purportedly has a degree in physics, correct?
I've just got your file. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
So let's make this a little bigger. This guy has a degree in physics, and he says that. Of course, you know who he is, right? From the mug and the utter, right? Do you see this?
Yeah, you're presenting to everyone.
Yeah, because
air is not the atmosphere. So can I'm going to ask you a question. If somebody says this to you, are you going to be searching him out for intellectual discussion afterwards? Anyone on the panel?
I'm certainly going to ask him to elaborate on that.
What's Atmos? What's
Atmo means air. So back to my question. I'm sorry, I heard a siren in the background. My question is, once somebody says this, air is not the atmosphere, or is he going to be somebody that you think that you can have a serious dialogue, intellectual discussion with?
Nope.
No.
I mean, what happens after he says this? What do you do?
Laugh.
The prosecution rests. What else do I need to say here? Right?
Silence is acquiescence.
You tell me. Ideas? Should we take anything that this person takes seriously?
No.
So why does he have a venue? Why are people entertaining him? Well, because the people that have venue and are entertaining this guy, they're equal retards, right? Because they've heard him say stuff like this. What has he said recently? He said it a long time ago that theoretically that he can see his own ass in a telescope. I mean, he blatantly says this, right? I mean, we're talking institutional level here. This is clinical, right?
Yeah, the seeing your own ass in a telescope thing, as absurd as it sounded at the time, there was a deeper meaning that we hadn't recognised, or at least I hadn't in the moment, which is to say that they're using Muppet vision and only claiming that geometric obstruction is the cause of things disappearing. But when you straighten that out, you can see forever. That's why they ask us why can't you see New York from England? That's the general misconception based on the mathematics and how it's hijacked perspective. When you put it on a flat plane, there isn't any perspective and you can see forever. But the same principle applies in that example. So they're saying if you've got a big enough telescope, you can see around the Earth. In other words, with enough atmospheric terrestrial refraction. Who's making all the background noise? With enough refraction...
Sorry, my phone dropped.
It's okay. With enough refraction, you can see your own ass in a telescope. Well, no. There's a diffraction limit. You can't see forever. Even if you're going to claim that the light's being refracted infinitely around a sphere. Well, if it's big enough, then you can't. You can't see that far. There's a diffraction limit. But that example would ignore the fact that you can't see forever.
So there's a bigger picture here, huh? That we need to go over. I mean, my word. Right?
A bigger picture than seeing your own ass.
Yeah, we have to go ahead and explain it why that's kind of... why should anyone even need to explain why that's clinical level? We're talking ICD-10 F72 full retard code.
So there's already been an attempted debunking of my brick example from yesterday. So I don't know if you heard that when Ruhi first came on. You're probably asleep.
No, I didn't hear that because somebody woke me up.
I didn't intend to wake you up. I just intended you to add to the call because Ranty had tied up the line. Anyway.
I don't think my computer loaded, right? I didn't think it loaded yet. And the phone started ringing. Skype wasn't even up. It just started ringing. I'm just messing with you, man. Go ahead.
Well, the debunking was to put the brick on a drone and raise it up, where you can see that. On that example of perspective earlier that we had on screen, right? I'm saying that towards the deck, that's where your limited angle is, and as you go higher, you've got an almost infinite angle. I've got to think of a better phraseology, but brushing past that, you've got a much more open angle when something's higher up off the deck. Well, their way around that limitation of the angle near the deck is to say, let's put the brick on a drone. Isn't that great?
And what happened? What happened after he said it?
Because yesterday they were saying, no, this example has been made before. Well, no, it hadn't been made in that exact way, which was your point. So, yeah, I mean, sorry, Chocolate, to disagree with you. But nevertheless, it hadn't been made in that way. So when it had been made before, it was with clown shoes and things like that. And the get around was to say, well, if the clown puts his shoe on his head, will it still be gone? And it's like, well, what? Put it into a wider angle, you mean? Because that's what they essentially debunked it with the last time. Well, the clown puts his shoe on his head. This time, a drone's carrying it. We've got Amazon drones now carrying bricks around.
And dropping them on their heads.
Yeah, just classic.
They're literally making a clown show out of it.
Yeah. My response was, you show me one example that we've studied where bricks are disappearing into the distance on drones. Now, typically we're assessing how much disappears against the claimed leading edge of a sphere, aka the horizon, aka the limit that things will disappear into the distance along the deck.
Unbelievable. And Rufy was the one that bring that up, or was it somebody else?
No, it's Rufy. Along with his fundy circle jerk, his circular reasoning. I think the sky's a vacuum. We don't need a container. Well, what makes you think that? Look at the sky.
Oh, yeah. Their argument, right? Well, their argument is that the Earth doesn't need a container. Their proof? Walk outside.
Yeah, look at the sky.
That's what they do. I'm serious. They all parrot this, man. I'm serious.
I believe the sky is unicorn farts. Well, how do you prove such a nonsense? Well, you walk outside and you look at the sky.
I mean, if I'm telling you, if somebody that was a professional mental health or a mental health professional listened to these people, the whole Baltard community would be gone the next day. I mean, these arguments that they have, I don't know how to, there's not a stupid enough category to categorize them, right? Who would say something like that?
Well, as this transpires, the stupidity of their arguments, because initially they're stressful and you're trying to figure out where the fallacy lies. I'm sure I was having this conversation at the beginning of this very long after show, although we're live now, aren't we? Yeah, we are live. I was having the conversation with 10th Man saying that, you know, when I started the debate, I started it with a bit of trepidation because I didn't have all the answers to all the arguments that were going to be put forward. But you challenge yourself and then you come up with the answers. But now we're, you know, far, far further down the road. You realise the stupidity of their arguments. So the assertions that you could see forever on a flat plane come because they've excluded perspective from their calculator, in fact hijacked it. But when they reverse that into a flat plane, you're left with seeing forever, which is farcical, laughable. But initially, that was probably quite stressful, and probably still is. There's, you know, not everyone's watching this show, right? So, you know, hopefully people will share the show to get this sort of information out. So while we're laughing at the fact that the only assertion is Earth curve, ha 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 ha, you know, some people are coming against the curve calculator, not realising where the fallacy lies, and getting quite stressed about it. I know I was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever.
Well, like we were talking about yesterday, they don't even understand their own reification fallacy. I mean, model. When they say that curvature is the only cause for their whatever fairy tale observation that they have, in their own model, they have refraction, right? Well, we went over it yesterday that one of the effects of refraction is sinking, where things are partially obstructed or fully obstructed below the horizon without any mirages. So they don't even know their own model. Or reification fallacy, I'm sorry. Remember, we went over that yesterday in detail.
Yeah, absolutely. We brought it up again on the, the Rantiathon, right?
Yeah. Unbelievable, man. I don't know. And then they all parrot each other. They don't do any due diligence or scrutiny, right? And somebody grabs a hold of somebody's argument, like from that nutbag Gem Panda with his birds humping natural experiments, and they just parrot it. With that, and as soon as you dig, you know, just Formica deep underneath, the whole thing collapses. I don't know. They're Baltard Tourette's. They all got Tourette's or something. I don't know.
Totally agree. And with that, I'll say if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. However, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, unfortunately, this is where we bid you farewell. A massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you who tuned in, smashed the super chat, liked, comment, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Also, of course, a massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this debate possible. If you need to keep yourself occupied after this live stream is over, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Once again, if you're watching on Nathan Oakley premiering stream, stay tuned. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!